Hey guys, so today I'm going to go through some of my favorite cosmetic brushes, and I know there's a lot of brush reviews and tutorials out there about the Sigma brushes and a lot about MAC brushes, and I have a lot of brushes. I can just go ahead and show you, like these are all my brushes. I have quite a few, probably not as many as a lot of makeup gurus, but some of them I've had for a really, really long time. Some of them are name brands, some of them are really cheap. I kind of just have a mixed assortment of brushes. So in this video, I'm just going to go through what some of my favorite brushes are, the ones that I really reach for or use on a consistent basis, or just interesting brushes that maybe I think a lot of people haven't heard of or haven't seen before. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. The first brush I'm going to talk about I actually mentioned in one of my Clinique product videos. This is the Clinique Tapered Powdered Foundation brush, and what I really like about it is that it's really skinny on the sides, and it's tapered this way, and it comes to a point. So this brush is particularly good for applying a powdered foundation. This is the Mineralized Skin Finish Natural, but if you use like a Studio Fix powder or any kind of pressed powder foundation, this just sits really nicely on top, and you can just swirl your brush in it and then just go all the way over your face, and it gets really well into like by your nose, under your eyes, around your face, by your forehead and stuff like that. So I really like this one, and I haven't seen a lot of companies that have brushes like this. The next one is the Everyday Minerals Flat Top Kabuki, and this is synthetic and only $10, which is really great. It's really short, and I like this a lot for applying mineral makeup. I've also used it to apply liquid makeup. Some people say this is a dupe for the Sephora number 55 airbrush. I don't really think it's the same because it's way flatter than that one, but if you like a flat top brush to use with your liquid foundation, maybe try this one since it's only $10, and it's synthetic, so liquid foundation will be okay to use on this with this brush. Like I said, I prefer to use it with mineral makeup because a flat top brush will give you more coverage than a regular kabuki brush, and it's also just extremely soft, and so it's really easy on the skin and it feels really great. I use Bare Minerals, and a lot of the Bare Minerals brushes I find are very scratchy, and the bristles get really dry easily if you don't like condition your brushes, which most people don't. So yeah, I prefer this over like the Bare Essentuals kabuki, but I know there are a lot of really other nice kabukis out there, but this is kind of a nice alternative to a kabuki if you want to try something different. Speaking of Bare Minerals, one of my favorite Bare Minerals brushes is the angled face brush, and this came in the complexion enhancers kit. Like I said, the bristles are kind of dry and sort of scratchy, but what I really like about this brush is that it's a contour brush because it's angled, but it's not so small that you can't use it with bronzer. My favorite thing to use with this brush is bronzer. It does really well to do the whole 3 thing. Right, you can contour right under your cheekbone or right up here or along your nose. It's really precise, but it's not so small that it's too much of a contour brush. It's a nice mix between like a regular bronzer brush and a contour brush because it's still pretty big, but it's not so big that you're like getting it all over your face, because I hate when bronzer is just like spreading all over my face and it doesn't look defined. So with this brush you can still make it look defined, but it's not so defined that you look like you're like airbrushed or something, like a fake person. So yeah, like I just like to use it right like that, and then up here. So that's a good one. And the other Bare Essentuals brush I really like, it's called Hydrate and Brighten Duo. And this is like a white synthetic brush, and this is for blush, and then this is for eyes. I like how it's double-sided. I don't have a lot of double-sided brushes. And this one also came in a kit. It was like some mermaid kit that came with like some seasonal collection last summer. But I recently rediscovered this brush. I usually would like never use it, except I've really been loving it for a precise blush application, because the bristles of this are so small, and I'm going to go ahead and compare this to my Eco Tools blush brush. So it's a lot more narrow, but it is pretty dense, so it delivers a really nice amount of color onto the cheeks while having really precise. My blush I'm wearing today is the NARS Amore, and I used this brush to apply it right before this video, hence why it's pink. And I just really liked patting it right onto the apple of my cheeks and bringing it up and just blending it out. And if later you think it's too much color or it's too precise, you can go back through with a regular brush and just, kind of brush it away to make the intensity a little reduced. But I think I really like bright, intense cheeks, especially for the summer and the spring. So this one has really been great for a precise and defined blush look. And it helps that, the other end you can use to pack on mineral color on your lids. And since I was already talking about the EcoTools blush brush, I'll just go ahead and mention this one. This one you can get at Walgreens or CVS or a lot of other drugstores for $6 or $7. And I was looking for another blush brush because I also have the Studio Gear number 125 blush brush, and this was the one I was using before I got this one. And this one's way more expensive, but it just doesn't really deliver the color the way I wanted. It's not as densely packed. It's more of I really like the bristles. It's really soft, but it's not very dense. So I wasn't getting quite the intensity or the color that I was looking for. So I got this one because it was really recommended on Makeup Alley, and I absolutely love it. It really reminds me of the Everyday Minerals one because the bristles are both synthetic and they're both really, really soft. And now that I've been using more brushes that are soft, I'm just getting so used to it because I love it so much. So this one is just cheap, it delivers the color really well, and it's really soft. It's just an all-around great blush brush. I feel like everyone should have it if they don't already. It's so cheap and so good. Okay, moving on, I want to talk about the MAC 109. This brush is actually described as a contour brush for powder products, but a lot of people have been starting to use it for liquid foundation, and I bought this right after I got the 187, and I actually like this brush better than the 187. It's really soft and it's really densely packed. I think it's just really great for buffing out liquid foundations. It blends beautifully. It doesn't leave any kind of stippling marks or streaks. I also really like my 187 for a little bit of a lighter application. I think this is a little bit more of a medium to full coverage look, depending on how much foundation you use, of course, but because it's so densely packed and because it's not a duo fiber brush, I feel like it really just blends really well and it packs on the coverage really well. The only thing that's a little bit of a downfall with this brush is that it's not synthetic hair, so the liquid foundations over time will damage the fibers of the hair for this brush. So I recently ordered the Sephora number 55 airbrush, so I'm waiting for that to come in, hopefully as an alternative to this one. I really love this brush, but I think if I get the Sephora number 55, I'll just start using this one for contouring and then using that one for liquid foundation. But really, of all my foundation brushes, this is the one I reach for the most. It just works really well, but I just have to remember to clean it often, because if you let the product sit on the brush day after day, it will just begin to eat away at the hairs and kind of strip the hairs of their moisture and everything. So if you have this brush, number 109, I'm just pointing that out to everyone, so just to remember that. And the last brush I'm going to talk about is the Aveda eyeliner brush, and this is really, really old. I don't even know if they make this anymore, but I really like this brush, particularly not for eyeliner, but for my eyebrows, as I use a powder eyeliner, or not eyeliner, eyebrow definer. I don't use it every day, but if I really want those drastic looking brows, I just put a little bit of the powder onto my brows and just line the brow with this, and it's really, really short and dense and precise. You can also use an angled brush, but I just find I like this one for a more natural look. It's not quite as a sharp, so this, because I don't have very angled brows, I think this one works really well for me. So those were some of my favorite makeup brushes. I hope you guys found this video interesting and that you guys got to see some new and interesting brushes other than MAC and Sigma that maybe you don't see all the time. I know a few of the ones I mentioned are pretty popular, but like I said, my brush collection is quite diverse, so I'm always looking for recommendations. Feel free to leave me a comment or a shout out or a thumbs up or a thumbs down or whatever you thought about the video. So thanks so much, and I hope you liked this video, and please feel free to subscribe. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.